All right, this is the start of day 43. We are still here at Hiker Town. We're going to be taking a zero today, so probably not a lot of excitement going on. Just a quick update on our friend Denim Dan. He is doing great. He's still in the hospital. They kept him overnight. He's still got some kidney stones that they're trying to work out, and so we're not sure if they're going to be able to let him go today or not. But again, we're going to take a zero and kind of see how the day unfolds for him. But anyway, he's doing well, and appreciate any prayers and well thoughts that y'all can give him. So one of the exciting things I'm going to do today, I'm going to turn this around and show you. I'm going to wash clothes. So I'm going to do some washing the old-fashioned way, like this, and kind of a symbolic ringer thing here, which unfortunately doesn't work, but it'd be great if it did. So yeah, we're gonna go old school here and see if we can get some of this dirt and grime out of the things I've got. I'll let you know how it goes. All right, I am done with laundry, hanging on the line to dry. Definitely not as clean as what one could get in the regular washing machine, but certainly get a little bit of the stink out of it, so that should hold me over. Maybe we'll get a chance in the Hatchapee to do a little bit more. But anyways, fun time. I made a stop along the highway here. Just look at these flowers, just incredible. Just incredible.
There we go.
And our new trail angel, DJ,
Right?
good friend of John's.
Yep, DJ Reed.
All right.
We're out here with the wildflowers near the Poppy Preserve, living our best lives.
Yeah. Now you said these poppies are where the opioids come from. What, is that?
This
Is that why people in California are happy?
This is like Wizard of Oz, you know. Joe's about to run out like the lion. And
All right, anytime now, Joe. I got it rolling. Just go ahead and start running.
Okay, I'm gonna go run through there. Yeah. And then, you know, just this is incredible. We don't see this. We don't see this super bloom like this.
It's just incredible.
Last time was it like 3-4 years ago, and they said you could see the super bloom from space.
Really?
Wow. For real. For
Wow.
real. Yeah.
So opioids were involved.
Exactly.
All right, well, great stop.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, we're going to enjoy the flowers here a little bit more, then we'll get back to reality. We'll talk to y'all later. All right, well, this is kind of our wrap-up for day 43.
Very good.
And we thought as a part of this, we'd take an opportunity to answer some of the questions that people have been putting in the comments, and maybe help people get the answers.
Wow, there you go. There you have it.
And speaking of answers, hats off to Yard Sale, who's a hiker that we met a couple days ago, but is here in Hiker Town. He was first one to tell us what the Star Trek episode was, and it was the Gorn, now I can't even remember.
Gorn, I think.
The Gorn with the green lizard for where it was shot there in Vasquez Rocks. I think you saw it in the last video where Christy put up a picture of the episode. So, but yeah, day 43.
Day 43, easy day. It was a zero. I think our total cumulative ascent for today is about 30 feet, and we might have gone down about 15 feet, something like that. Total walking, I don't know, maybe half a mile. You know?
Yeah, maybe back and forth to the restroom.
And John's friend DJ took us on just a great adventure to go get food and check out some of the surrounding stuff. You might have seen some pictures and stuff. It's been a good day.
Yeah.
DJ was our trail angel.
He was Trail Angel. We went to, what was the name of the restaurant?
We will, I think.
Weeville
or something like that.
Great food.
Yeah.
Took a little while to get it, but it was great food. We went there for breakfast. And we're actually going to try to go to, what's the name of the place for dinner?
Nemo Market, I think
Nemo
it is.
Market, something like that. So we'll go back there for dinner tonight.
Which is soon.
Other than that, yeah, staring at flowers and sitting around talking with hikers that are kind of coming in and leaving. Had a chance to catch up with Moss and Nikita.
Yeah, we had a great time chatting with them.
Yeah, they're part of the Young Guns that we've talked about, and they were kind of on the tail end of it, and they headed out this evening to catch up with the rest of everybody. So it was great to just talk with them, catch up on a few things.
Talk about she's talking about injuries and what's hurting and what's not, and they're going to be out ahead of us again, and we've got some contact information with him now, so we can get a little bit of intel.
Yeah, and why don't you give an update on Denim Dan?
Denim Dan, we just spoke with Denim Dan, and he is out of the hospital. And
Woo! Yeah.
They didn't need to keep him overnight, but he's got to go back in tomorrow morning for them to take care of a couple things, and then in theory he could be back here at Hikertown tomorrow. So trying to figure out if he's gonna try to engage with us, or if we're gonna wait for him, or if he's gonna bounce up to Tehachapi. They told him he might need to rest a little bit, and we suggested maybe Tehachapi is a better place to take a couple days rest, in which case we could just meet him up there. So we'll give you guys an update on that as soon as we know more, but it sounds like he's definitely out of the woods.
Yeah,
definitely out.
Great news. Yeah. Great news. Much happier sounding than the last time that we had the opportunity to talk to him. So that was really good. All right, well let's jump to the questions. Let's see if there's some that we can answer here.
Karnak, you know.
Yes. The background of the Codgers. What led you all to hike the AT and the PCT? Not because you wanted to get away from your wife. Well, that was the answer. No, just kidding, Christy. Just kidding. Well, I guess Joe and I will talk a little bit to that. We had sectioned hike a lot of the AT. Again, being from the East Coast and Atlanta area, it's right there in our back door. So we spent a lot of time just doing section hikes over the last, gosh, I don't know, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
Maybe about 2015, I think.
Yeah, so maybe about 8 years. And we had actually section hiked all the way up to about mile 534, Partnership Shelter. And we finally, I originally kind of told Joe that, hey, I'm going to hike the AT as soon as do a through hike. And Joe at first was like, nah, I might do a week.
That's like you're out of your mind,
Maybe a month. Well, I slowly worked on him to the point that we made it happen in 21. And we enjoyed it so much that we decided that, hey, let's do the PCT.
Well, maybe we shouldn't say we enjoyed it so much. It was an incredible experience, because you do have to embrace all aspects of it, right?
Yeah, but it was enough to have us coming back.
Yeah,
we definitely embraced the suck on the AT with some of the tough parts and the weather and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like what we're doing here on the PCT.
Very similar.
Yeah, a lot more white stuff here on the PCT than we had in the AT.
That got us going, and then here we are.
Here we are.
So what got you to get out here?
Well, I've always liked hiking. I've lived in the Palm Springs area for about 25 years, and when it gets hot in the summers, I climb into the mountains and explore. And I would run into PCT hikers all the time. And half of them are international, and I always loved their energy. So the more I was able to meet hikers, the more I wanted to be part of it. And it took a while. Eventually I worked on my endurance, started hiking up to Big Bear from Palm Springs and back, and then last year I did a 200-mile hike going south, and finally applied for the permit, and here I am.
Now we're all on the trail.
Now we're on the trail.
Denim Dan, who's not here, we're going to have to ask him the same question, but he's on the verge of being a triple crowner.
Yeah, he's done the AT and the CDT.
He's 3 times crazy.
Hey, 3 times. All right, any word on the snow in the Sierras? We are not getting a lot of intel yet. There's not been a lot of people going through there yet. But we did hear some about Kennedy Meadows is looking good. Snow is not an issue in Kennedy Meadows right now. So that's really good from a standpoint of trying to get in and out of Kennedy Meadows. And certainly for us from a hiking standpoint, I think we'll be okay getting to Kennedy Meadows. But beyond that, we know it's a high snow year. We know it's way above average. But beyond that, we don't have a lot of intel.
All right. So we'll keep feeding you intel as we get it.
Yeah.
There will be people ahead of us to feed it to us.
Yeah. So pick another one here. Why did we not use snowshoes? A lot of questions about that.
I tried early after Laguna, but they really aren't helpful. And they weigh a lot when you're not using them. It's just a lot to carry on your backpack. So eventually, after a short time, I returned them to the person that loaned them to me.
So it's kind of like the juice versus, is the juice worth the squeeze? So you have to carry them a lot, when you're not going to be using as much. And the hiking component of what we do is more, we're trying to not be out in the soft snow where those snowshoes can be really helpful. We try to get out when it's compacted and where we'd be using micro spikes or just our boots to pound through it.
Yeah, probably the only place that would have been helpful is perhaps going up to Bear Lake.
Yeah.
But even with that, the snow was so soft that we still would have sunk
A lot.
pretty good. It's just talking with some snowshoers. They said, you still would have post-holed a little bit with them, and then you got that whole thing trying to come back out of it. So.
Yeah. Be burning a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's one of those, probably if we were good at snowshoeing, it probably would have been useful. But with some of the steepness of the trail and that kind of stuff, particularly like Joe said, when you're trying to get out early when it consolidated and it's icy, that doesn't work very well.
Right.
You end up with almost skis, and that's the thing you don't want on the side of the mountain.
It's hard to count for everything. So if you're waiting for the perfect conditions for one particular tool, you're carrying a whole lot of tools and not using it very much. And and it's just a lot of weight.
But again, with all that said, we're not experts on it. There's probably things that we could have done differently and done better. But we did the best we could with what we had and got through it.
Yeah.
So the brand of sleeping bags and degrees.
Yeah. So that's kind of easy. We have the Enlightened equipment. We have David and I do, and they're both 0 degree quilts.
The Enigmas.
Yeah, the Enigmas, and they've been great. We really liked them. I used to have a 20 degree, and I switched to the 0 degree because of how cold I was getting. An important component of that is we both have the Thermarest Xtherm sleeping pads, which have a 7.0 or 7.1 R rating. So those two in combination means that we've been doing pretty good with the temperatures and stuff. And you're trying some different things out.
Right, I've got a Sea to Summit 0 degree coming to Tehachapi. So I haven't tried it yet, but hopefully it will be light and compress well.
Yeah.
I want it to be small.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, why'd y'all choose the road walk around Baden Powell?
For me, I'll answer for me, is I didn't feel that I didn't feel confident with my skill set trying to go up that thing and come down that thing, and felt that that just wasn't the right choice for me. There was 3 guys who did it that day out of a group 11. 3 went up and 8 moved on. I just think, at my age and my skill set, what is it? I don't want to die on that hill. Not literally, but it is. You say I'm not. Yeah, I'll get around it. That was me.
Yeah, and John, the legend, has actually done Baden Powell when it's not snow, and John, I think you've said it's pretty tough without the snow on it.
Yeah, it's all switchbacks.
Yeah, and so it was, just one of those decisions, like I said before, we're not experts in snow, but looking at the overall conditions, hearing a little bit of what people saw, they had a couple of people went up a little bit just to check it out and come back down and say, nah, and then like Joe said, 3 of them said they'd go up, and they kind of made their own route up, and then I think they said they glissaded back down on the same face. So anyways, that was pretty much it. Us just trying to make a realistic, intelligent decision about the skills that we have.
And that day, when we hiked on Highway 2, it was slushy.
Yeah.
Even by 1 o'clock, we were post-holing. It was an exhausting day.
That was. I forgot. I guess by 1, and we were just post-holing.
By 3 o'clock, we had enough.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. And the road walk itself was not what you would think as a road walk. If you see some of those videos, the snow drifts were incredible.
Yes.
The boulders, the landslides that had occurred onto the road.
Yeah.
That was tough walking.
Yeah, a lot of that. There might have been 8-10 feet of snow underneath us, so we're not walking on the road really. There was a couple of places we hit the blacktop, but mostly it was just tons of snow.
Yeah, it's like kryptonite when we're post-holing. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here, someone asked, how did Denim Dan get his name? And we'll answer that for him, because he hikes in denim.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, he still has didn't he have like rain pants or something?
Yeah,
And mostly hikes in denim.
Yeah.
He switches up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll switch out depending on the weather, but if the weather's good, he's hiking in denim.
But it's like he's no dummy. He's like, it's not old school blue jeans. It's denim, yes, but it's kind of that with the stretch fabric in it and stuff like that. It's relatively lightweight, breathes pretty well, so he's happy as a clam, you know, hiking in those.
All right. And I'm just kind of jumping around because I don't think we'll have time to answer all these, but when did you all start carrying an ice axe? Did you need it sooner? Originally we had our ice axes waiting for us up in Kennedy Meadows, but we had them being the Triple Crowners and Yogi, Jackie, ship it down to Idlewild for us.
Yeah.
Because of what we'd heard with San Jacinto and stuff. So we actually got them in Idlewild. We started using them as we went up San Jacinto, and then have kept them ever since.
Yeah. And you had yours, did you have yours from the get-go?
I did,
Yeah.
from the very beginning.
Yeah.
We had our micro spikes from the very beginning, which came in handy. We didn't really need the ice axe until we got to Idlewild or San Jacinto, and you saw the video of that we were using them for a while on that north face of Apache Peak until we got to the point where we just didn't feel it was safe to continue on with them.
But we find they have really good uses other than just ice. You can dig a cat hole with them very nicely. They help you dig in the snow. If you're having to tent in the snow, you got to put dead man's in. The ice axe is good for that. And I use it as a kind of an adapter when I do my roping system on the tent to make it pulled out at the side a little better. So they've been handy, but be glad to get rid of it.
Yeah. And so with that, do you wish you had crampons? There are times I wish I did, but I think for a lot of what we were doing, micro spikes were okay. But there were a couple times, and I'm certainly seriously considering making sure to have crampons when I go into the Sierras. But I don't know how y'all felt.
John's gonna let me try his, and that'll give me a sense. But I've never used them before, so I can't really speak to the advantages. The only thing I have in my mind being the worrywart that I am is if I'm using crampons and I've never used them before in my life, am I going into something I really shouldn't be going into? I don't know, but I got to try them first, and then I'll see.
And John, you had crampons.
I did. I used them on San Jacinto, but I also watched the guys with their spikes, and they had good traction with spikes, and a lot of people were just using spikes. Gidget was the only other person who had the same crampons that I had. So my crampons are 1 inch, and the spikes are 3/8. You guys seem to be doing just fine. Since I had them, they're really nice and effective. I absolutely do prefer them over the spikes, but there are times when the spikes are really nice. Like I learned that on just slick ice, they're fantastic. Just with the spikes. So both of them work well. It's nice to have both. I just don't want to carry both.
Yeah. And somebody asked if the micro spikes gum up with soft snow. And yeah, there's kind of that interim period between, you got the crunchiness, which is where they work best, and then at the other end is where things get really slushy. It's kind of the in-between where things are starting to get slushy. They'll start gumming up on you. Mm-hmm. You'll start getting balls of snow on the bottom of your micro spikes.
Yeah. And I found it was really odd because this was the first time I wore micro spikes in powder when we were going on was it Big Bear or whatever it is? We were going through different conditions, and we transitioned from kind of the slushier stuff where I had my spikes on into the powder, and then I'd get these big old clumps of snow on the way it would adhere to the bottom of my boots, and that was
4 to 6 inches thick.
Yeah, it was really weird.
And you had to be careful because if you didn't pay attention to it, it would offset your foot.
Yeah.
To where you might step and be pushed off a certain direction, which you don't want to lose control of which direction you're going while you're on the side of some of these hills.
Yeah. So again, we're not experts at it, but those are just some of the things that we experienced when we were going through.
Let's see, what's another? John, your tent. Is that a 2-person or 1-person?
2-person.
Okay, so a 2-person Durston?
Yes.
I know you had a lot of people looking at it. They all come over, and Joe and our tent is like big deal. Oh, John, look, you got a Durston tent?
Yeah.
Getting a lot of interest in it.
It's a large tent with a big footprint, and it takes getting used to, but the room inside is very nice.
It takes getting used to having that much room.
All right, well, maybe one more question here, we'll cut it off. One was asking the total age of the group. I know we've had a lot of people asking, we call ourselves Codgers because we're old folks.
So, right, so 128, 61.
You need extra fingers?
I thought it was 45, 47, 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're all under 20.
28, 88. So a total of 189 years.
That's a lot of experience.
For the three of us. Oh, with the four of us. Oh, wait. 89.
That's like 250, 260.
265.
Yikes.
Nice, eh?
265 years between the four of us.
But one of the things that
And I'm 13.
What? Why did you say you're 13?
All right, 62, 61, 66. Denim Dan, 66.
And it's been interesting, we call ourselves the old Codgers, just kind of the over 60 gang, and we've met some great people, a lot of older folks that are out on the trail here. We met Uncle Mark, who was 72. With popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn is
Denali 69.
Yeah, popcorn was 65.
These guys are all super fit.
Yeah, it's great. They made us feel young. We wanted to invite them into our group so we could be, not old Codgers. We could just be the young
Codgers.
Young Codgers. But anyway, so it's really been interesting just to see, again, that typical diversity of age where you have a group, the older group like us, that are retired or, in different, I was going to say end-of-life circumstances, but not end-of-life, but, on that side of it. Versus the younger crowd, which is 20. Yeah, I'm not coming back. Anyway, so why don't we cut it there? There's a lot of other questions. Maybe we'll break it up as we kind of move forward with some more closures, doing one or two, because I know this video is getting long, and Joe is about to fall asleep here.
Well, yeah. So, everybody else who's watching has.
So tomorrow, our plan is, again, we're trying to work out with Denim Dan what's going to happen with him. But our original plan was that we would probably try to head out here at 6 in the morning and get across the LA Aqueduct, the 17 miles where you're without water. Or I should say, there is no available water.
Yeah, you walk in the aqueduct without water. Yeah, there's no water for us. I like that.
So we'll have to load up with some water, but we want to try to get out early. But the temperatures are not going to be too bad tomorrow, so we're not expecting incredible heat or anything. So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape to make that 17 without any issues.
We're expecting David to rock his umbrella tomorrow. Could be umbrella time.
Stay tuned.
I've been carrying that for 500 miles.
I know, and I've only used it like once or twice. So
nice to use it.
This is my last big chance to use it because I don't think I'll have it past the Sierras or past Kennedy Meadows. So, all right, with that, we'll stop it there and apologize for the rocking of the camera, but Joe's got the shakes.
Woo!
And if you guys have any comments or questions, certainly let us know. And again, we appreciate you all watching, and we'll talk to you all later.
All right, happy trails.